Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Diva Alena Vanza with student number A1B220373. And I am an English teacher student at Universitas Jambi. With my career goal is to become an English teacher who can teach effectively and communicate well with the students. Before taking this course, I thought that being professional was mostly about speaking English fluently, and I believed that as long as I could speak English, I would be ready for my future career. However, after attending meeting 2 until 7, I started to understand that being a professional is not only about language skills, but it also about communication, attitude, and understanding other people. And now I would like to move to the main part of my reflection. Here I choose three topics. The first one is need analysis, the second one is professional email and messaging, and the third one is identity and ethic in a workplace. And first, we talk about need analysis. From this topic, I learned that need analysis means understanding what students really need before we teach them. And this is important because every student have a different level or different background, and if we do not understand their needs, our teaching may not be effectively. And before learning this, I used to think that teaching was just about explaining the material from the book, and I don't really think about what student needs. And I did not really think about a student's individual needs. But now I realize that a good teacher should first understand the student and not just the material. And what surprised me is even the simple things like the student level or background, it can affect how they learn in the class. And in my future career, I will try to ask the question, observe my students, and adjust my teaching based on their needs. And now let's move to the next topics, which is professional email and messaging. In these topics, I learned how to write messages and emails in a clear and polite way. This is important because communication shows our professionalism, and also the way we write the messages, it can affect how people see us. And before this, I used to write messages in a very casual way, like chatting with friends, or sometimes I think it's did not use a proper structure or polite expression. But now I realize that professional communication should be clear, respectful, and also well organized structure. And one thing that challenged me was choosing the right words to sound polite but still clear. In my future career, I will use a proper format when I would like to write an emails, especially when communicating with colleges, students, or an institution. And next, I will talk about professional identity and ethic in a workplace. From this topic, I learned that being a professional is not only about the skills, but also about behavior and responsibility. And why is important, and why this is important is because as a teacher, we are not only teaching but also becoming a role of model for the students. And before learning this, I thought that being a teacher was mainly about teaching in the classroom. But now I realize that a teacher So show a good attitude, be responsible, and act professionally in all situations. And what challenged me is to understanding that professionalism must be consistent even outside of the classroom. And for my future career, I will try to build a good professional identity and being responsible, respectful, and commit to my role, and also to commit into my role as a teacher. And after discussing these three topics, I would like to reflect on my personal development. From this course, I can see my strengths and weaknesses more clearly. One of my strengths is that I'm willing to learn and improve myself, and also start to be more aware of how communicate in a professional way. However, my weaknesses is that sometimes I feel less confident, especially when speaking formally in the front of the class. And to improve this, I plan to practice speaking more, especially in formal situation like the presentation. And I also want to practice writing professional emails more often. And in addition, I will continue to reflect on myself and try to improve my professionalism step by steps. And I think that's the end to conclude this course. To conclude it, I think this course has helped me to understand that being professional is not only about a knowledge, but it also about a communication, attitude, and self-awareness. I believe this will help me in my future career, and I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.